I am taking a step back from my friend since they started dating someone. So I, 26M, talked to my close friend, 24F, and suggested we tone back on our hangouts and chats because they told me a couple weeks ago that they have started officially dating someone. I'm genuinely happy for her. She told me they have been seeing each other for 6 months and called it official a month ago. Now before this we would talk and hang out pretty often, platonically, at least in my perspective, about a few times a week and almost daily with late-night chats, upwards of 3 a.m. We've known each other for a few years and met at a doctor's office when she noticed me playing a gacha game and we talked and bonded from our mutual love of games and nerdy stuff. Now of course, I think both guys and gals can be great friends with of course, boundaries and lines. However, in my mind, if I was seeing someone I wouldn't really want them hanging out with and talking non-stop with a guy to this extent, especially if I don't know them. She told me about her relationship a couple weeks ago and mentioned that her BF has gotten a little nosy recently whenever we would text about stuff. I asked her if she showed him our chats and stuff. She said no because she deserves a private life too. I completely understand that, but we really only talk about games, movies, comics, etc. It wouldn't hurt to just show him LOL. I suggested it, she again said no and that he doesn't really like our interests. That's completely fine and I dropped it, though after informing her that from a guy's perspective, talking to a dude then hiding the conversations and being secretive about it can seem damn sus. As for the BF, I know next to nothing about him and she always skirted around any details about him. Our mutual friends know about him apparently. Though for some reason she always seems to be pretty secretive about it. Sort of feels like I'm just being left in the dark. I have other female friends in relationships and this was never a issue. According to her, she just doesn't want us to know about each other as it may have start conflict since she talks to me more often than him. She has also mentioned that she tells him she's hanging out with the girls whenever we'd meet up to hang out. Which to me is kinda mean and a bit dishonest. So I talked with her further about her relationship and she is pretty serious about him and loves him. After mulling over it for a few days, I suggested to her that we should probably take a couple steps back and hang out / talk a bit less because I want her to focus on herself and her relationship. I do genuinely care for her and want the best to come her way. I also don't really want to be the topic of drama to add to my list of stress. I explained this to her as kind and as understanding as I could, but she just sort of blew up at me and stormed off. Later on she sent me a truckload of messages, some sad, some angry, some rude remarks on my looks, etc. Yesterday morning I woke up to some messages from some mutual friends calling me names and berating me for pushing her away. I am so confused right now. Last night she told me she wants to talk today. Our mutual friends also seem to stop the harassment too. I think I will meet her again today to just what is going on. Is there anything I should ask her specifically? I do want us to stay friends of course and just want to set some boundaries that we may not have initially established. Update. So first off, thanks to anyone that offered advice and perspectives to my situation. You guys helped me set my head back on my shoulders and hit the nail on the head. I thought I'd let you all know what happened. Here's the update. TLDR at the bottom, buckle up, this is a bit confusing. So we met a couple days ago and talked at our usual cafe. As soon as I walked in she seemed really awkward and fidgety. Not a second after I sat down she blurted out an apology for snapping and storming off, as well as all the things that were said from her and by our mutual friends. I was about to apologize as well, however, she told me I didn't need to apologize for anything and she had to really tell me something and asked me to just keep an open mind. Confused, I nodded. She told me that she wasn't exactly honest to me for a while and that she'd been lying to me. It turns out she never had a boyfriend. It turns out that she has liked me for a long time now, but because of how long we've been friends she didn't know how to bring it up. Our mutual friends decided to help her out and cook up a story about her having a BF to test the waters and see if I would be jealous and awaken my feelings and fight for her. This is becoming a TV drama. No wonder I knew next to nothing about the BF. She was trying to spin the story that she was keeping our friendship a secret as to, in her words, keep the door open for me. She started hinting that her BF started getting nosy and a little jealous of how much we talk, as to start stirring the pot with me. However, that had literally the opposite effect. As soon as I started trying to help her fix her BF issue, she thought it was a good sign and we can start broaching the topic of relationships. I know this sounds convoluted as F and I'm just as confused as y'all are. Though from my perspective she flatly refused any of my suggestions to assuage her imaginary BF's jealousy. So I just suggested to her that we should just tone us down a bit. This apparently frustrated her and that led to her blow-up. She vented to her friends and they harassed me a bit, telling me I'm throwing away something good and all that. That's when some comments from our mutuals started making even more sense. At that point I just had a blank expression, just trying to dismantle the most complicated pickup attempt of my life. So I just asked her, what in her right mind would make this entire setup even remotely work in the real world? Crickets. She just apologized again for all this drama and was bold enough to ask if we can be a item or at the very least go back to how things were. At this point I just felt a rolling headache and was still processing everything, still am really. I just told her I need some space for now to just consider this fiasco. Here I am now. I'm probably not gonna date her. I thought she'd known me long enough that she could have just asked me to my face and I would have given it serious consideration. Now? Don't think so. That's gonna my only update on this. I'm still going through with it and taking a step back from all of this including the mutuals. Thanks for reading guys.